What is up everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel, Jurassic Collector here. And today I have my very first review of a Mattel Jurassic World, or in this case, Mattel Jurassic Park Amber Collection figure. So today we are going to be taking a look at the Mattel Jurassic Park Amber Collection Dilophosaurs. Now I say Jurassic Park Amber Collection because it has the Jurassic Park logo here. I'm so excited to take a look at this figure for you guys today. Dilophosaurus was one of my favorite dinosaurs. Well, the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs because it has a frill and it like spit venom. The real Dilophosaurus didn't. Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs, and this figure looks incredible. We saw pictures of this first last month back in Jurassic June. I did get this from Amazon UK. I will have a link down below. At the time of this recording, this is still in stock, so hopefully by the time this goes up, it'll still be in stock. So there will be a link down below for you guys. Anyways, this did cost me like 34 euros around. So Amber Collection figures are a lot more expensive than your average Mattel Jurassic figure. It's my first Amber Collection figure. I'm really excited. It definitely feels really premium, and the box is a lot bigger than I anticipated. It definitely feels a lot more premium than any of the other Mattel Jurassic World pieces or figures, because it is more premium. The box itself, let's just take a look at the box now. So you can see it says Amber Collection up here, and that is in a amber kind of font. Then we have a Jurassic logo with the T-Rex in it, and that's stamped in kind of amber there. Then we have some like cracked like stone here, so this background is all kind of like stone with some fossil in it, and then breaking through the cracks is some like amber, and it looks really cool. We have some kind of like skeleton details going on. Then down here we can see Dilophosaurus, and then over here we have a grey Mattel logo, which fits into a more premium look than the bright red and white Mattel logo. On this end of the packaging we can see a mosquito trapped in amber there. We can see some bones. We can see a skeleton here of what looks to be maybe an Allosaurus, I kind of want to say. It kind of looks like an Allosaurus. And we can see Amber Collection there. On this end of the packaging we can see the Jurassic Park logo here, and you can kind of see the Dilophosaurus itself in there. We can see the T-Rex logo stamped into the amber background there, and then we can see Amber Collection, and then we can see a picture of the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. Dilophosaurus in a lot of different languages, and then colors and decorations may vary, and swappable frill included. Then it just says Mattel, made in China. The back is also really nice. It is very basic and simple, and there isn't like a huge amount going on with it, but we can see some like skulls back there and some bone here in the like kind of like rock kind of feeling. It feels really premium, as I said. Here's the top of the box, so we can see some like skulls in here, and another skull here, and another one there, and then some like cracked kind of amber running through it. Then here's the bottom of the box. There's nothing really interesting on it, just says 2020 Mattel, and it tells you what it contains, and then there's the barcode if you need it. So without any further ado, all that's left to do now is take this figure out of the packaging. So let's go. And here's the figure out of the packaging, and I'm really impressed with this figure so far. It comes with a couple of accessories, as you can see. Here we have a frill. We have the Dilophosaurus itself on the base. We have a little projectile, which I will show you later as well. And we have an East Dock sign. So first up, I guess let's just take a look at the East Dock sign. So here is the East Dock sign. Now this is actually a really large sign. It's a lot bigger than I thought. As you can see my hand here with it, it is actually quite large. So you can see this was printed on. You can see Mattel used their printing kind of technology. I always call it printing technology. It probably has a name, but they just printed it on there, because you can see especially on the black here on the East Dock sign, the black background, you can see it has lots of kind of like lines running through it where it was printed. And then it has this little arrow sign that spins just like in the movie, which is so awesome. I really love that. That's so cool. And then this is just on a white kind of stick thing, and then the base is kind of like dirt kind of effect. It would have been nice if they kind of dry brushed it with some like lighter brown colors, just to make it look a little bit more realistic, but it is pretty cool for what it is. It is just supposed to replicate some like dirt, so it does its job. It is hollow, as you can see, so obviously you can just see underneath there. This is an awesome addition to have in with the Dilophosaurus. The next accessory is this projectile that's supposed to replicate the venom that the Dilophosaurus spits out, and it is just a green transparent color. Dilophosaurus mouth, there's a hole in it, and that just slides into it like that. So now it looks like it's spitting out its Dilophosaurus venom. This accessory is really interesting. It is the frill of the Dilophosaurus, but when the frill is down, so it's just the Dilophosaurus in kind of a normal neutral position. So you can just put this on the Dilophosaurus, or you can opt for the frill out version. So it is really nice that we now have the version to have a frillless Dilophosaurus if we want, or one with the frill. And obviously this next piece here is the frill. So this frill is absolutely beautiful. It is incredible. That frill looks so beautiful and so film accurate. So if you want to put the frillless version on, so it just has the frill down like that, you can pull the Dilophosaurus head off. So the head pulls off this figure. It's really interesting, but yeah, the head pulls off it like so, and then you get your frill or frillless version. So I'm just gonna put on no frill for a second to demonstrate to you guys. So you just pop it on like that, and then that just clips in to the neck like that, and then you have your frillless Dilophosaurus. You can still articulate and everything, which I'll show you guys the articulation in a few minutes, but so there it is with the kind of like frillless version. And then we have the base here. There's nothing too special with this. It is just like a clear kind of yellow color, so it is slightly transparent, as you can see my fingers through it there. And it is kind of supposed to replicate amber, and it has the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park T-Rex stamped into it there, and it has this clear peg that clips in to the base so that you can put the figure on it. So this is just obviously a display stand. And now here is the figure itself out of the packaging, and it's off the display stand, so it does actually stand without the display stand with the frill on. As you can see, it does stand without the base stand, which is awesome. So if you don't want to use that display stand, you don't have to. It will stand without it. I'm really impressed with this figure so far, you guys. So let's take a close look at the detail. So here on the head we have some detailing along here. There's not much going on with the head. We do have a nostril there. We do have some like detail sculpted along here around the gums, and the crest up here does have some nice lines to it as well, but there isn't a huge amount of like scales or anything like that packed into the head. The bottom jaw does have some nice detailing going on, and there is a couple of scales actually in the bottom jaw along here. So there is some detail on that. The mouth is sculpted. We have the teeth there. Now the teeth look a lot better on the final product. On the promo pics for this figure, they were like marshmallow teeth, whereas on the final product, they definitely look a lot better, and they're not as like rounded kind of down and like marshmallow like, which is really good. I'm happy they made them a little bit sharper because it looked really weird with just the marshmallow teeth. There is some detailing in the mouth. We can see the tongue there just kind of has a line in the middle, and then there is some detail in the roof of the mouth there. You can kind of see that on camera. The frill on this figure does have a lot of really nice detail. So it has a bunch of lines on the frill, which looks really, really good. It did have some nice lines in the movie. This definitely has all of those striations and kind of have like lines where it would kind of fold down and collapse. So the frill actually does have some really nice detail to it, front and back. As you can see in the back, there is a lot of detail into the back of the frill as well. So as you can see in the neck, there is a lot more detail going on. So there's a lot of lines and kind of some creases and folds along the bottom of the neck portion here, and then there's so much detail running into the arms and the hands. The hands do look good there. There's some nice lines sculpted in there, and you can see there is just some really nice detail packed into the arms and the body here, and we can see some like kind of veins running through here and where the stomach is. There's just some like nice lines and striations running along, giving the body some texture, and it makes it look really, really good. We can see some more really, really nice lines. Here we have the foot. The foot is actually really nice. There is a lot of kind of lines running through it there, very bird-like. There is some nice detail in the leg. There's some really nice lines and creases running along. Back of the figure here, again, some nice lines underneath here, some kind of like creases and folds, and then just some more lines running throughout the entirety of the tail as well. As you can see, to the very tip, there's some nice detail packed into that tail. Both sides look great. Both sides have a bunch of detail packed into them. And they, as I said, yeah, they just look really, really good. And there is still some really nice detail packed in underneath as well. So you can see the jaw does have some lines there. And under the neck, there's some nice lines and creases and folds. And under the body itself, there are some really nice lines as well. Underneath the tail, there is some nice detail packed in too. Now, the tail might look in a weird position, but I'll show you guys, you can bend it in a minute so it doesn't just look like that. On this bottom of the foot, there is some nice detail packed in there. And then on the bottom of this foot, we can see the Jurassic T-Rex logo stamped into the foot there. So now let's talk about the paint job on this figure. So of course it has the classic Jurassic Park Dilophosaurs paint scheme, which is that's what we've wanted to see for so long from Mattel now, a Dilophosaurus with the classic Jurassic Park paint scheme. The head here, so we have this black kind of pattern along here, along the crest as well up there, and then we have a very fine white, just kind of outlining that, just like in the movie. The mouth is sculpted in this pink color, and then it was kind of painted over in like a red wash, and it makes it look really wet, and it's really hard to see on camera because the mouth's so small in this figure, but it looks really good. You're just gonna have to kind of trust me. You can kind of see it there actually. There's some nice dark red going on there, painted over to make the mouth look really wet and glossy, which is awesome. The teeth are also painted pretty well on mine. There is actually no sloppiness at all. There's no sloppiness on the teeth on mine at all. There is just a bit of paint wear there, but other than that, there's no sloppiness on the teeth. As you can see, this side is really nice as well. There is a tiny bit of dark red around the eye. It's very hard to see, but it is there. And we have, again, this side is the same with the black and then the very fine white outlining it. So as I said, the frill is really impressive. So we have this kind of like a lemon yellow color, and then we have a light red, and then a kind of white pattern around it, and then some black speckles throughout, and it looks just like the Dilophosaurus frill from Jurassic Park, and that's really good because that's what it's supposed to represent. And it does almost have like it doesn't have a gloss to it, but it does almost have a wet look, as you can see if I get in the light here. So there is this black kind of paint then running throughout the body. It is like a very dark kind of grey, more so than a flat black. It is kind of like a very, very dark grey colour, and it is patterned nicely. We can see it does have some nice lines, especially here there's like a thin line, and then it meets with the actual rest of the kind of colour throughout in the body, and that black or grey kind of runs through onto the legs there a bit. And as you can see, this kind of dark grey or black colour is kind of outlined by this very thin white, which is perfect because that's what it's supposed to look like in the movie. That's what it looked like, so it is good that Mattel done that, and I am actually really happy with how that turned out. Now, I'm not sure if this pattern looks 100% film accurate. I feel like there's probably a bit more on it, but for the most part it does look really good on this figure. The finger claws on this figure are painted, which is amazing. All of the claws here on the front of the hands are painted, which is amazing. So they're like a kind of like very dark kind of grey color, and they are all painted there, as are the toe claws, which is awesome, and is the dew claw on this figure as well, which is great. Then, as I said, that kind of dark grey or black kind of runs on to about a third of the way down the tail, I would say. So if I stretch the tail out fully, you can see there is kind of more of the tail unpainted than painted, unfortunately. So I would have liked this black to kind of go to the tip of the tail for this price point, but unfortunately that didn't happen. On the feet here, we can see this kind of like dark kind of red brown color that's kind of like dry brushed on there, and it looks so good. And it's, as I said, it's on the hands as well here, and it looks really, really good. Then underneath the figure, there is this cream color. It's like a cream beige color underneath, so we can see it goes from the top of the neck here, and it goes until about halfway down the tail, as you can see there, and it is spray painted on. It looks really good. It's also on the back of the legs here. Now, unfortunately on mine, you can see here, it's just like abruptly painted there, so it wasn't sprayed on this part of the leg, as you can see. So it looks like really stark because it just goes from this cream to the green, so it wasn't sprayed properly. Whereas on this leg, you can see it was sprayed, so it has a nicer transition there. That's really the only major paint problem I have on my figure. And that cream is underneath the arms as well at the back, so it is awesome that there is a lot of that cream applied to this figure. So overall, I am actually really, really impressed with the paint jobs on this figure. This is definitely one of Mattel's best paint jobs on any of the figures at all. It's so incredibly detailed. The frill has some incredible paint work, and it looks just like the movie, and that's what really sets this figure apart, along with that nice thin white outline that surrounds the kind of dark grey. It just makes it look movie accurate, and this figure does actually look generally overall movie accurate. There could be a bit more of this paint running to the tip of the tail, but overall I am actually really impressed with the paint job of this figure. So now, articulation on this figure. So the jaw opens and closes like that, and the top kind of jaw moves slightly. As you can see, it doesn't go up more than that, but it does move slightly. Now, unfortunately, there is a quality control issue with the jaw on these figures. You can see the metal kind of hinge in there, and that's been a problem on a lot of people's figures. So unfortunately, when you close it like that, the mouth won't close completely. There is kind of some gum showing through, which is a bit unfortunate for the price point of this figure. So if it, I'm gonna try fix it. There is an articulation point at the neck here, so you can see it can go whatever way you would like there. And then there is one at the base of the neck. So there's 2 articulation points at the neck. So there's one at the head here, and then there's one at the base of the neck, which allows the figure to move up and down, and you can move it 360. So that gives you a lot of articulation in the head, which is great, as you can see, like that. The frill is not articulatable, but you can take it off, as I showed you guys earlier. The arms have articulation points here, here, here. So there's 3 articulation points on the arms, which gives you a lot of posability with the arms of this figure. This arm has that as well. Then the legs can obviously move like that there. Then there is one at the knee, and then there's another one at the kind of shin area there, as you can see, and then there's another one at the ankle. So there is 4 points of articulation in the leg. And then the tail can move up and down and rotate just like that. And the tail actually has a kind of metally bendy part in it, so it is kind of made out of rubber, the tail. So the rest of the body is all hard plastic except for the frill. The frill is a softer material, as you can see, as is kind of the head, but everything else is kind of like a softer plastic, or mostly hard plastic. But the tail is a soft rubber. So it kind of feels like the Kenner real feel dinosaurs a bit. It does have a bendable kind of wire in it, so you can position the tail in different ways, which is really cool. And it gives the tail some really nice articulation. Instead of just having one articulation point there, you can actually bend it in whatever way you would like. So that gives this figure a total of 19 points of articulation, which is actually really good. And obviously the Amber Collection figures are based around that. They are very articulatable and therefore kind of adult collectors. So that good articulation is to be expected from these figures. So now let's get into some comparisons. So now it's time for some comparisons with this figure. So here we have the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus beside the 3.75 inch Claire. So obviously this Claire is from the main line, the 3.75 inch line, and then this Dilophosaurus is from the 6 inch Amber Collection line. However, I am actually going to be using this Dilophosaurus in with the main line as an adult Dilophosaurus, because all of the other Dilophosaurus figures we've got are very undersized, whereas this scale is actually pretty close to like how big Dilophosaurus actually was. And that's one of the main reasons why I picked this figure up, because now we finally have like an adult kind of Dilophosaurus in the line, and it looks so good. So as you can see with Claire here, this actually looks really good, and I'm actually really happy that this Dilophosaurus, we can use it in the main line. Now I don't have any Amber Collection human figures, they just don't fit in for me. Like I just want to kind of collect some of the dinosaurs in the 6 inch Amber Collection line, because like €30 for just a human figure is just too much for me. I just can't justify that, but I can justify it for like a Dilophosaurus figure like that. So I will be just sticking to the dinosaur figures in the Amber Collection, but this Dilophosaurus looks really good with a 3.75 inch human. So here we have an Attack Pack Dilophosaurus with the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus. So this is just the Attack Pack Dilophosaurus sculpt, and it is just the repaint that was in one of the 6 packs. Now I never realized how small this Attack Pack Dilophosaurus figure was until I compare it to the Amber Collection one, and the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus absolutely towers over it. So you can just see how undersized this Dilophosaurus Attack Pack figure was with the human figure. So that's why I'm glad this Amber Collection Dilophosaurus kind of sizes up nicely with the human figures in the main line. This Attack Pack Dilophosaurus was lacking articulation, and it's just in a very kind of one-way kind of upward position, whereas with the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus we can pose it in so many different ways. This new Amber Collection one is just so incredible and so much better than the Attack Pack Dilophosaurus. And then here we have Mattel's second attempt at making a better Dilophosaurus figure in the main line. So we have the Savage Strike Dilophosaurus figure from the 2019 Dino Rivals Savage Strike line. Now this figure was originally going to be released in a paint scheme that was inspired by Jurassic Park for the Legacy Collection. I will throw a picture up of this, but it was later released in 2019 as part of Dino Rivals and repainted, as you can see. And I mean, we have the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus behind it, and you can see it is still tiny in comparison to the new Amber Collection Dilophosaurus back here. This Dilophosaurus lacks articulation, and it's just, this Amber Collection Dilophosaurus is so much better than either the Savage Strike Dilophosaurus or the Attack Pack one. The new Amber Collection Dilophosaurus is so much better because it has so much better articulation. Obviously the paint job is so incredible on this new Amber Collection figure as well. So yeah, I mean, they look decent together, but it does not beat the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus. Is way better. And then here we have the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus with the new Epic Roaring T-Rex. Now this Epic Roaring T-Rex is my favorite T-Rex from Mattel. It's brand new for Camp Cretaceous. I really love this figure. It's actually really awesome T-Rex. And we can see the Dilophosaurus here with it. This actually looks really decent in scale. So the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus does scale pretty decently with the new Epic Roaring T-Rex. So overall, I'm actually pretty impressed with this Amber Collection Dilophosaurus figure. I have a QC issue with this jaw, as I showed you guys earlier. You can kind of see the metal bit shining through. And then I have one kind of paint issue with this back leg here. You can see it wasn't transitioned from the cream to the green properly. But other than that, this figure is really good. It's outstanding. It's easily the best Dilophosaurus figure in any Jurassic line, like from Kenner to now with Mattel. It has accessories, so you can have the frill up like that, or you can have the frill down with this accessory. It comes with the projectile venom. It comes with this E-stock sign. Now granted, this E-stock sign, I won't be able to use this with the mainline figures because it's obviously really large, but it is really a nice accessory if you weren't going to just use it with a 6-inch kind of diorama. But overall, as I said, the paint scheme is really beautiful. It does represent the Jurassic Park counterpart. As I said earlier, the frill is just beautiful with all of that paint work, and the detail on it is actually incredible. And this kind of, it's just really film accurate to my eye. Is it completely perfect paint job wise? I'm sure it's not. I'm sure there could be a bit more kind of gray running through the tail or through the body, but overall I am really impressed with this figure. So is this figure Jurassic Collector approved? It is. This figure is Jurassic Collector approved. I actually am really impressed with this figure. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. I want to thank you all so much for 6,000 subscribers. I just hit 6,000 subscribers yesterday, and it is crazy to me because it feels like we just hit 5k and it feels like we just hit 4k. So thank you all so much for helping me hit 6,000 subscribers. So until next time guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out. Rah, rah.